what's up guys? Today in Advanced Tactics Volume 4, we're going to be talking to you about cloaking and some of the upgrade cards that can affect cloaking, all about how to cloak, what to do, what to cloak, what ships can cloak, how you should cloak, where you should cloak, who cloaks, and who cloaks who. I got a little cloaked away there, so let's go over some stuff. Alright, so the TIE Phantom is the only ship that can cloak as of today, and probably for quite a while. Basically, cloaking is an action. When you announce that you're going to cloak, you place this little token next to your ship and declare that he has cloaked. Once a ship is cloaked, it gains +2 agility. While it is cloaked, it cannot attack. It gains one other thing while it's cloaking. It can decloak, and when you're going to decloak, you will before you reveal your maneuver dial, you declare that you're going to decloak, and before you do your maneuver, you first decloak, and you will use the 2 template. So, and you'll do either a forward 2 maneuver or a barrel roll using the 2 template. It's forward, backwards, or barrel roll to the other side, forward or backwards, however you'd like to do it. Now this has a lot of strengths and weaknesses. Well, the weakness is that you cannot attack, but it has a lot of strength if used on the first turn. So today, here I have an Ewing going up against a Phantom. And suppose that we're getting close, and I do a 2 forward, and then I declare that I'm going to cloak. Let's assume that the Ewing does also a 2 forward. Now he would be within range of shooting me, so this isn't really the best example, but let's say for the next turn. Let's say the next turn he's going to approach a little slower. Now the K turn for these guys is a 3, so let's say next turn I'm going to do a 3K, but I want to get right behind him, and right now if I were to do a 3K, that would put me right here, and if he does a 1 forward, I'd end up just bumping him and I wouldn't be able to complete my 3K. But when I say I'm going to decloak, I could go to the side and do it, or I could go forward and then complete my 3K, assuming that I am moving second. He would have moved up, this would put me right behind him, voila. So basically it can turn any maneuver, like it can turn a 4 into really like a 6. So let's say first turn, I go forward, let's say I'm starting at the very back. I go forward 4, and then I cloak. Very next turn, I'm going to do another forward 4, but I decloak, which puts me 2 forward, and then another forward 4, maybe cloak again as the action, because you can cloak in the same turn that you decloak, because it's not, decloaking is not an action. So in 2 turns, I've covered far more than half the board. So it's got a lot of maneuverability. The only ship that the only small ship that can move as fast as him is someone like Darth Vader, who can boost and barrel roll and has a 5 forward. But he's almost as fast as Darth Vader. So he can go really fast that way, but he's also got some other things. Let's assume I have a fight going on here. My Ewing is fighting another ship, and I have a Phantom over here. And let's say this ship comes up, goes forward. The Ewing comes up, and they're about there. And let's say I did a 4 forward as well. And now let's say I cloaked, and I want to come, and I don't want to be in range of the Ewing. Let's say I'm going to do bank 3 this side using this maneuver. Next turn, let's assume the Ewing goes forward 2, right there. Now if I were to do a bank 3 right now, that would put me in arc of the Ewing. No, I don't want to be an Arc of the Ewing. So assume I decloak, and I'll do a barrel roll this way and forward, on the forward side of it. Now I've decloaked. Now my 3 has me right there. This Ewing has no shot, and I can shoot him. So it's a great way. The best thing about this is that you have choice. You have choice when you're going to do it. You have choice when you're going to, where you're going to go. And it's really nice. Now I'm going to talk about upgrades that affect cloaks. Alright, so the first upgrade I'm going to talk about is the Advanced Cloaking Device. Now, the Advanced Cloaking Device is the most popular of all of the cloaking upgrades. There really are only 2 right now. But this one costs 4, and it lets you perform a free cloak action after you perform an attack. The attack doesn't have to hit. That's important to know. So suppose we're dueling, and Ewing comes up. I come up to the Ewing. Assume I'm not cloaked at the moment. Let's say I attack. I have higher pilot skill. I attack first, then boom, I get to cloak, and now I'm going to be harder for him to hit. However, now the Phantom has a 2 agility, and the cloak is going to increase it by 2, so he'll be up to 3. I'm sorry, he'll be up to 4, because I'm so good at math. He'll be up to 4 agility, and having 4 agility is great, but it's going to be unmodified. He's not going to have a focus. So an Ewing or a lot of ships that have 3 attack dice, you're still going to be able to hit him, and he's only got 4 hits, 2 hulls, and 2 shields. So you don't want these guys actually getting shot. So I'm not really a big fan of the Advanced Cloaking Device, unless you're using the pilot Whisper. Now Whisper is an expensive pilot, but basically after you cloak or decloak, you get, after you perform an attack that hits, you get a focus token assigned to your ship. So this has synergy with the Advanced Cloaking Device. A lot of people don't like Whisper because who wants a focus after they attack? You want your focus to be used on your attack. Well, Whisper's great for 2 reasons. For one, he works well with the Advanced Cloaking Device. And he's got a higher pilot skill of 7. So let's say I come in, I get to attack, and assuming it hits, I get a focus. Now with 4 attack dice, these guys are, it's very likely that you're going to get at least 1 hit. Then Advanced Cloaking Device kicks in. I'm now cloaked. If I hit, I also get a focus token. So now I have 4 defense dice and a focus token. So it's very nice defensively to have a focus with 4 evade dice. So that works. That has synergy. However, now you're at 36 points for 1 ship. So that's a little expensive. But the other reason that Whisper's nice is because it doesn't say you perform a focus action, it says you assign a focus token. So the idea here is that you can focus, then do your maneuver, spend your focus for attack, and you'll still get to another focus because it's not an action that's a focus, it's just assign a focus token. So it doesn't violate the rule of 2, not being able to do 2 abilities, or not being able to do the same maneuver twice. The next ability I want to talk about, or the next modification, is the Stygium Particle Accelerator. Now, I like this one a lot better than the Advanced Cloaking Device. I've used this one a little more. Now, to be fair, I haven't actually tested the Advanced Cloaking Device yet, but I like the Stygium Particle Accelerator better. So when you decloak or cloak, you perform a free evade action. Now this one's not as good because it doesn't say you assign an evade token to your ship. You perform the evade action, so you wouldn't be able to use this in conjunction with your regular evade action. But if you're cloaking, so let's say I go forward and I cloak, I can drop my cloak token down, and then I can also perform the free evade action, so I have an evade as well. So now I have 4 defense dice plus an evade token. Not as good as a focus, but it's great because it's still better than nothing. It's better than 4 4 evade dice. Now I've got an evade token. for agility dice, I should say. And what else is really nice about this is if I decloak next turn, I still get another. So basically, I get for one action, for one cloak action, I'm going to end up getting 2 free evade tokens because I get 1 now and 1 next turn. So that's assuming I'm doing a 1 forward or a 2 forward. I'll barrel roll. Go forward 2 for the range 1 shot. I decloak, so I get a free evade action, and now I do my focus, so I have a focus and an evade. Now I'm in an excellent position to be able to attack, because I can use my focus for attack, or in the off chance that I happen to roll extremely well, and I don't need to use the focus for attack, or in the off chance I roll extremely bad and roll 4 blank red dice, I can use my focus for defense, and I also have the evade. So it's extremely nice. I like it because it's just its dual purpose. You can use it when you're going on the offensive and when you're just flying around going in the defensive. And it only costs 2 for the Stygium Particle Accelerator. Now, I really like that. That's my upgrade of choice, unless I'm flying Whisper. You know, if I'm flying Whisper, I'll try out the advanced cloaking device. I might do that here pretty soon. The other thing on cloaking I want to talk about is all your different positions that you can do. So let's say my Phantom is here, my Ewing is there. It's difficult for your opponent to know where you're going to be. Because in addition to having a pretty good dial, you have, you know, a lot of banks. You have a hard 1 turn. You don't have any other ones though, but you got all your 2s, all your 3s, and then the 4 straight. So it's got a pretty good dial. So you have a lot of options, but let's say you're going to do, you know, a 3 bank. So you could end up going here or there. But if you're cloaked, your opponent doesn't know what you're going to do, and they doesn't know where you're actually going to be moving from. So you could be moving from there, or we line it up. You know, you have 2 full ship lengths that you could be starting from on that side, and then the same thing on the other side. Another 2 full ship lengths on this side that you could be starting from, or you could be starting from a full 2 ahead. So I'm going to mark, instead I don't have enough Phantoms to really act as placeholders. I could be starting from here. I'm using paints. Could be starting from about here. I have a before and after on this side, and I could be starting from here. Now, in the case of forward maneuvers, that still has you know, you could still be going anywhere. 4 forward from here, 4 forward from here, or 4 forward from here. But in the case of turns, you know, it could. My opponent doesn't know I could be facing this way. I could be facing that way. Or I could be over here, or over there, or I could be doing a 3K turn that's actually going to be more like a 5K turn, or actually technically a 6K turn, because you do the decloak first, and then you have your ship's base, which counts is the same distance as a 1 maneuver. So it's actually a 6K turn, which is really interesting. Not to mention that that these ships also have barrel roll. So if I really wanted to get crazy, let's say I decloak and I go forward here. Now I'm going to leave my starting ship there. Boom. Say I ended up right there, and then I did a 3 turn, a 3 bank right there, and then on top of all of that, let's say I barrel rolled backwards. Well, not backwards, but you know what I mean. You move back like a half a ship length. Now I was here, and now I'm facing that way. So in certain dogfights, in very close proximity dogfights, you could end up going any which direction. In the same way that I faced this way, I could be doing that the other way. Or if I went forward instead, if I decloaked forward instead, and then did my same 3 turn, and then barrel roll, that could be right there. So this is about the distance that your decloak can make, and then you can go the other way as well. So it can make a huge difference. There's so many different possibilities, and that's all leading up to the last basically dynamic is the card Echo that I want to talk about. I'm sure if you've looked at any of the spoilers, I'm sure you've seen Echo. Echo's a pilot skill 6, only costs 30, so it's pretty good. But Echo's special ability is that instead of using the straight 2 maneuver when decloaking, Echo uses the curved 2 maneuver. Now, this adds a wealth. Now remember, a regular cloaked ship can be in these 3 different positions. Okay? But Echo can be in a ton more positions. So Echo can start out right here. You can also flip it. Don't forget, when you're using a curved symbol to do your barrel roll, you can do it up or down. And you can slide it along the base as well. Because each one of these positions really is, you have up to 2 ship lengths where you can put it. And then forward left or forward right. So we went from having 3 relative starting positions to now having 6 relative starting positions with Echo. And all of these have a lot of adjustments that can be made. For example, if I went back this way, I could start there or there. And I can put the barrel roll like as far forward as I could possibly go would be right there. Or if I put it back some more, I could go as far back as right there. I don't know if that's in the shot, if that's showing up too well. But there's a lot of different options. So Echo is nearly impossible to predict. And then I'm going to show you one more thing on how Echo can do. So now I'm going to show you how to do a really tricky maneuver with Echo that I like to call the 0K turn. And this is really useful if you are kind of jousting with somebody but you're not straight at them. So let's say this Ewing is flying past me and he does one of these. Okay, let's say he ends up right there. And assume I'm cloaked and I have Echo. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to decloak with the, I'm going to announce, well, I'm going to do a 3K. I'm not a 3K. I'm going to do a 3 bank to, in this case it would be the right, the same direction that my ship is, that my enemy ship is on. And I'm going to decloak using the 2 curved maneuver to the opposite side in a forward arc. So in this case, it would be like so. And I want to push this as far forward as I can, and then align the base, the back of the base to the back of the 2. So basically I'm going as far forward to the left as I can with that decloak sideways. Now I'm going to execute my maneuver, which will put me right behind him. Now I could leave it right there, but I can also barrel roll, which puts me back into my starting position. And if I show you that, I'm going to do it again with another ship so you can see. I think we're about right. I'll do it right there. Okay, so I'll start there, boom, and then I'll do a 3 there. So look at, already right here you can see the fantastic possibilities of Echo. And then if I were to do the barrel roll, it's going to put me back into my starting position, but just facing that way, or wherever I want to put myself. Now in this particular case I would have stopped right here, but if he had gone a little further, I could just barrel roll and make sure to keep him as a range 1 shot. So you have a lot, and the beauty is that the order in which these occur, you don't have to announce which way you're going to decloak, or you don't even have to decloak, until the moment comes that you're about to reveal your maneuver dial, and you do that right before you reveal it. So Echo has the most possibilities out of all of these guys, and Echo's just a lot of fun to play. I think there's probably still some tricks that haven't really been discovered yet, but that's my favorite, is the what I call the 0K. And the best part is you don't even get a stress for that. So that's really nice. So that's about it with stealth. In closing, I'd really say generally don't stay in stealth too long. You want to probably you want to go into stealth the very first turn so that it gives you some extra maneuverability on your second turn. Especially if your opponent does a 1 forward and they're creeping up, and you do a little bit of creeping up, you can probably stay stealth if you really want to, but you want to make sure that you're coming out of stealth as the approach is happening. So when your opponent does a big 3 or 4 forward, and you know that you're going to be in attack range, that's when you want to attack. So maybe I'm doing a 1 or a 2 bank, or a 2 soft turn right here. Well, then maybe, assuming I'm not Echo, maybe I just want to go to this side a little bit, so that then my 2 soft turn gives me a perfect shot on him. And then hopefully I've got the Stygium particle accelerator equipped, so I get an evade on there. So because I'm probably not going to kill him first turn, but at least I have the evade for when I'm taking return fire. And hopefully he's not Corin Horn, because he might just kill me. But that's stealth. That's cloaking and decloaking. And I hope you guys like the video.